Brandy the industry pass around, or Wanya Morris basically being a creep. This is what happened. This is this coach. This is that Coach Greg Adams shit. Okay. This is that Coach Greg Adams shit. So I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding. This makes no sense to me. Why is now I understand she has a book coming out, but whatever I keep saying, fellas, she don't want you in jail. She either wants your money or just wants to ruin your reputation. Well, bitch, I'd rather you put a case on me. Because that means you got to show and prove your evidence. And I get a chance to defend myself. Don't do this hearsay. Well, you felt like at the time. You see what I'm saying? You see how these women do you? So, wait, don't do what? Don't do what? Wait. Listen, I understand. I understand that you have an allegiance to Coach Greg Adams. That's cool. But the reality is, you old niggas are not knocking down young girls. Or if you are knocking down young girls, you paying for it. That is the reality. 8 times out of 10, you deal with somebody close to your age. Okay? What am I saying that's wrong? What am I saying that's wrong? Okay. That makes no sense to me. What is the issue between Tony? I don't care. Let's just go here. I don't give a damn. Okay. All right. She says in her new memoir, Phases, says she was 16, he was 22. Now, we all grew up, we all went to high school with girls in our classes that would date the older drug dealer. Yeah. He had the van. Oh God, listen. Okay, there was this guy growing up. His name was. No, I'm not gonna say that because I don't want to piss nobody off. Let's just say he had a particular nickname, and he had green eyes, and he was already in his 30s when I was in high school, and he was well known for knocking down the high school girls. This is. Oh, so here's my take on this. To me, this should be a nothing burger because to me, Brandy was an industry pass around. She got the Aaliyah treatment. Now, I hope if you're so quick to drag Wanya, I hope you drag Sonya and the daddy too. But let's continue. It's a bad look all the way around. It's a very, very bad look. The shame ends here. The silence ends here. I was not a fast girl with a crush. I was not a dramatic teenager who couldn't handle rejection. I was not an unstable, obsessive fan. I was a child, but your parents greenlit this. I think that's the bigger issue here. Y'all, Epstein is not your problem. What your problem is, people that look like you pawning off their kids in exchange for access to fame and success and riches. Let the white folk deal with the Epstein. You deal with Uncle Ray Ray, Auntie Sarah Vaughn. Do you understand? Now, how come no one's mentioning, well, Sonya, you were her manager. What the bitch? What were you doing? Right? Y'all so quick to get mad at R. Kelly, but never Aaliyah's parents. You never get mad at Barry and Jomo for making sure everything went smooth. And you know what I'm saying? It's too easy to blame the, you know. But let's continue. Let's continue. So there, the interview is super cringe. Wait, let me find it. Let me find it. Oh, let me find it. Wait. Let me find it. Let me find it. Wait. Here we go. Okay. She lost her virginity to this guy. I think he saw me as conquerable. Now, this really should be a nothing burger, because like I said, we all went to high school. We all had a crush on the one girl that was getting knocked down by the old nigga. I'm in the bind, Nate. Nate drove, okay, what was in the 90s? What were they driving in the 90s? He had the 5.0 convertible, 5.0. He had the convertible 5.0, undefeated. If you saw a nigga in a convertible 5.0 Fox body, it was lights out. I was like, oh no. Wait, where's it at? Let me find it. Hold up. Let me find it. Give me a minute. We all had a crush on a girl that was getting knocked down by an old Jerry curl wearing ass dude that was driving a 5.0. So this really should not be nothing. Okay? This really should not be nothing. But the way she frames it, and then he doesn't help either. Oh.
He left you lonely, broken hearted.
No, I didn't actually leave it.
He was teaching Ray J how to do videos.
You taught Ray J how to do the same.
They were saying she was really young when y'all dated.
Yeah, she was. Not that young. Because I don't want y'all to think Boyz II Men was young. No.
She said
I was young too.
She said she was 15 and she had to keep it a secret because she was so young.
See, we did the thing. We did the thing when she was like 16, 17, around that time. You know.
You was so you were still a boy too. You
I wasn't old. I wasn't
men
like
yet.
38 years old now.
Okay, wait. 22 is not a boy. 22 is grown. Now, y'all, I hear y'all's arguments. Well, you know, it takes the young man, to get to 25 for the prefrontal cortex lobe to fully develop before they start making better decisions. Okay. At the end of the day, he's still grown. He's still grown. But let's continue.
Like that. I was old enough to. She was old enough to get it.
Okay. But was it legal in the state y'all was in?
I mean, we was always in different states. We was on
Wanya was.
Did this nigga did he admit to a Mann Act? Transporting an underage girl across state lines? That sounds like a violation of the Mann Act. That's what they got Chuck Berry for. That's what they got Chuck Berry for. What is wrong with this dude? What is wrong with... Wait. So let's go here. Your first real love, your first experience with sex, these are a natural part of our youth, rites of passage that should unfold with tenderness and care. Mine unfolded under the influence of a man who seemed to know exactly how to make me question my own beliefs and boundaries. And I hung in this strange balance. I was navigating that time in full view of the world, every move scrutinized, every choice dissected by people who didn't know my heart. Part of me wanted to retain some semblance of normalcy, but also I knew full well that what was happening between me and him was wrong. And yet my attitude was, this was special. This was real. People just can't understand. I was young and inexperienced and thought that following my heart meant following his lead, that what we shared transcended ordinary rules and limitations. I had wanted to wait until marriage and had shared those beliefs with him. But I also believed that having sex with him would cement our bond. Would prove I was mature enough for our relationship, would make him happy. And so I told myself I was ready, that this was my choice. But the truth is, I felt like I had no choice. Chow. I felt like saying no meant losing him. My first time lacked the specialness I had painted in my mind because it wasn't about me at all. Looking back in my mind, it was about him getting what he wanted from someone too young to recognize she was being used. There was no magic, no romantic tenderness enveloping us. All the passion he expressed through song felt absent because it wasn't lovemaking. I had wanted that milestone to be sacred, and I wanted to feel cherished in his eyes and in his touch. I was too naive to realize that deep down inside, he did not see me as special. I think he saw me as conquerable, as someone whose boundaries could be negotiated away. Chow. Get me out this meat suit. At this point, I just let me be a puma. Let me be a puma, and let me be a mountain lion or something in the wilderness, solitary. Attack a couple hikers every blue moon. Let me go and let me get out this meat suit, cause this ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it. So by the time they filmed the Brokenhearted video, Brandy says the unspoken energy between us had intensified. We moved around each other like opposing magnets, as if actively trying to maintain distance, even as we kept finding ourselves drawn into each other's orbit. The attraction was subtle yet undeniable. It lived in the pauses between conversations, and it lingered in the charged atmosphere surrounding us.
Get it. Her mother reached out to me, as well as my manager reached out to Brandy, because Brandy was a big fan of mine. I was like, wow, that's amazing, because this young lady was pretty cool. Now I was young at the time. I wasn't 30 nothing, so don't get it twisted. What happened is she became kind of like my little protege. Once she turned of age, we had been hanging around each other so much. We've been hanging around each other so much that there became to be some sort of connection, an intimate connection. We actually fell in love. Now, we were young. That's what happens. You're young and you fall in love. Regardless of anything, my age, her mother was definitely a part of our relationship. Her mother and father was a part of our relationship. They allowed me to guide Brandy and to help her through her career. They understood that we had grown close, and that's what it was. Brandy.
Sir, this is nigga explaining. See, this is that Coach Greg Adams. Don't end up like Coach Greg Adams. Knocking down JUCO women is not going to solve what's wrong with you here. Okay? Knocking down 18 to 20-year-old women as a 50-plus-year-old man is not going to fix what's wrong with you here. It's not going to fill the void here. It's just not. At some point, you're going to need somebody to wipe your ass. I'll leave it at that. Let's continue. Okay, we already got rid of all that. Okay. Wanya often compared Brandy to other female singers, suggesting she emulate them. Let's go here. Faith Evans, soon as I get home, poured out of the sound system in his kitchen as I set our plates, humming along. I love this song, I thought. You hear that? He asked me as I dipped a crispy spring roll in neon orange duck sauce. I turned to see him swaying in the corner, eyes closed in concentration. Hear what? I asked, confusion clouding my expression. He paused the record, then rewound it and hit play, knocking the volume up a few notches. Faith's voice filled the room briefly before he hit pause. There, right before the bridge. You hear that melody? Why don't you sing like that? Excuse me? I asked. I could hear the edge in my voice. This was an unfamiliar tone for me to have taken with him. Maybe I'd misheard him. I didn't understand. We did this a lot, listened to music together, but that was the first time he'd made a comparative comment. At first, I dismissed it. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I assumed good intentions because I couldn't fathom that someone who claims to love you would try to tear you down. Maybe it was his way of encouraging growth and I was misreading his intentions, but the critiques kept coming. We could be enjoying a drive, lost in conversation, when a man's voice floating through the car stereo speakers would prompt him to increase the volume, and like clockwork, some comment was made. This is how you should approach your lower register. You should try emulating her technique. Why haven't you done a record like this yet? Started to eat at me. as if my own voice perpetually fell short of some invisible standard. These little criticisms stacked up, all those insecurities blasted away by growing success suddenly came rushing back. It made me question everything, my talent, my instincts, my worth. It made me question myself in ways I'd never experienced before, planting seeds of doubt that would grow like weeds in my garden of confidence.